to add to what I said, if a team were to say, if you gave someone $2,000, and with that $2,000 a week, they would have to pay their bills, like I said, make sure their kids going to school, make sure they stay off drugs. They have to submit drug tests, to take care of their own property. Because if the ghettos look the way they look now, just imagine them with, cleaned up, lawns cut, people caring. This would give them incentive to care, and then they would see something, and then they would probably more than likely say something, because everybody wants to keep their area clean. Nobody grows up either saying that they want to be a drug dealer, a crackhead, or broke. It happens that way. People get forced into it. Decisions have to be made. And unfortunately, we can go to rehab and everything. Who the hell has time for all that when you're trying to pay bills? At least with this kind of thing, gives them an opportunity to, and they have to keep a job. They have to keep a job. That's part of the stipulation. You have to mend it in society. Even if it's a McDonald's job, just to keep it. And if you're only working 30 hours a week, that gives you plenty of time to go home and take care of your land, your property, to make sure your kids are okay. Even though, the McDonald's money ain't paying everything, but that help. $2,000 a week would be a lot of incentive for the black moms. Because a black mother, if you take the stress away from a black mother, there is nobody more determined than a black mom. I grew up on the east side of Buffalo, on Gimble Street. 43 Gimble, 111 Gimble is where I lived. I went to Kensington High School in the early 90s. I don't know what it's like being a black man in a white man's world, but I do know what it's like being a white boy, a little white boy in a black neighborhood. I mean, it has its ups and downs, but I do know one thing: sports made it a lot easier for me. I was able to play basketball, baseball, 5 foot, and I was playing a forward position, backing bitches in. But that's just what the hood does to you. Everyone was happy. The only thing that separated us was stress. That's all. Nobody wants to be super rich. We all just want to be able to survive. And this is that way of doing that. Once you can help them people out, then society starts to help out. Just think, man, if somebody cut somebody off after getting fired, but you don't have any stress, you're more than likely to not snap. You're more than likely to just let it go. And this stupid foolishness would stop. So, give it a try. See what happens. I don't know when this goes out, because I'll be getting phone calls and stuff like that. But it's worth it, man. I think if we took a time out to figure this out, maybe what I'm saying isn't right, but I'm on the right path. I'd love to talk to someone to see if we can figure this out, because I'd like to be the person that came up with the idea. I don't have the funds, but it'd be cool to be someone that changes the face of the United States, and we can be proud to be Americans instead of fighting with each other, man. That's what America's all about, is that opportunity. This would definitely give that opportunity. And if you want to be a scumbag, you're a scumbag on your own. But I know the people, and people naturally want to help one another. But when you go to look up and no one's helping you, it's tough to help anybody else. But when you know that you're getting help and you see someone down and out, you know you can help them. That's the other thing. Even if the money that you give is overabundant to them, they're going to take the rest of that money and they're going to what? Help other people, which would help the neighborhood, right? And you're going to have some shitheads that are going to sell drugs. But if there's no customers, there's no drug dealers. Maybe the drug dealers then can take the money that they've earned, maybe make businesses, maybe build places so people can be in rehab. I know T.I. and Lil Wayne and Trick Daddy. I've seen reality shows with you guys in them. You guys are not bad people at all. You guys are wonderful people. T.I., your kids would never see the pain that you've seen. I've seen the videos, man, and I've heard your songs. So it's beautiful to see someone come from where you guys came from, and then not inflict that kind of hate on your kids, not to pass it, because that's what's making racism, is to pass it. You're changing it. Just imagine if you can change millions. The investments that people would make with your money, you'd be able to benefit off of that and see the world grow. And we can be proud to be Americans instead of mad at the government. The government can only do so much to tax-paying people. But when you got a bunch of people flooding in and they're taking more taxes from people that are paying taxes, you're going to have stress and then racism and hate. But when you take that away, there's no room for hate.